Yes, man, ready to go. We've been practicing each other for over 6 months now, so we're ready to get this thing rolling.
Has it hit you yet? Friday's your day.
It's a great honor. There's been a lot of great guys that have pitched here over the years that have had that role. Recently Daniel Gossett. So, I've got a little bit of experience with that last year when I had to fill in for Goose. But, just my job to go out there and give us a quality start, and hopefully we score some runs behind me.
Being the first game you haven't gone through, pitching and then having to wait pitch again, how do you get yourself mentally ready throughout the week to get out there Friday?
Yeah, that is a big deal, but you get used to throwing bullpens over here, 50, 60 pitch bullpens before the season gets going, and you do it, throw to throw. But it's kind of helped how we do with scrimmages here. It's like a real life game. But I try to do some stretches in between innings, and it's gonna be a little cold Friday, so I'll be up and moving around.
What about mentally? You've got to get yourself in gear, knowing that it's almost here.
It is different, but it's kind of one of those things where, I've done it for a while now, and I've had the luxury of pitching here 2 years now, and I kind of know what I need to do to keep myself mentally ready to go during the game.
You guys don't have a spring training, so to say, other than this inter-squad stuff. So, is there a rhythm you have to get yourself into for the first few weeks?
It's different. The blood's flowing. No matter what you do in inter-squad, it's probably the same thing with the spring training guys. It's, a real game is a real game. It's a different animal. So, the blood will be flowing the first inning. I'll go out there and it'll be a little different. But after about the second or third pitch, I'll be ready to go. It's kind of the way it happens for me.
The good year that you had and Goose had last year, Clemson still finished 11th in the conference in ERA. Is there any lessons you can impart on the guys who are back and the new pitchers as far as more consistent performance?
I think we were kind of thin. People don't realize how big a injury that when Pat Andrews wasn't there for us. And he'll be there for us this year, here in the coming weeks. But he threw a lot of big innings the year before, and where we lost some games in the 7th, 8th inning, that's where he would have pitched at. So I think we'll have more depth. Drew Moyer had a great year last year, and I think he'll have another great year this year. He's got a good outlook when coming out of the pen, and Alex Bostic has improved. So I think we've got a lot of guys that can fit roles. Even freshmen that can pitch for us, and I think we'll have a pretty good pen this year.
Coach, like I mentioned, he may have never had so much of a righty-lefty combo before. What have you seen out of the other lefties besides yourself?
Yeah, we really have not had many lefties here in a while. But you look all over the country, there's people that have 5, 6 lefties, and it's normal. If they don't have they've got 2 or 3 that start, and they have 4 or 5 that are relievers, on the weekends, and they've got matchup guys, and we haven't had the luxury of that lately, So having some quality kids that are younger that came in and transfer Pat Crawl, they'll be able to give us big outs, I think.
Especially with these early season games, how does the cold weather affect you as a pitcher?
It's no secret I don't like cold weather. I would love to be pitching in 80-degree weather all the time, but once you get your blood flowing, you're okay. I'm okay. The sitting in between innings kind of gets you a little cold, but once you move around, you're okay. What gets me cold is when I'm not pitching. I'm just sitting there like y'all are.
You've got 2 weekends before South Carolina Clemson series, and then ACC gets one after that. Is that enough time to really feel the competitiveness and get ready for some really meaningful games?
Yeah. Nowadays every game means something because there's so much parity in college baseball. Before, 10, 15 years ago, these opening weekends were not as big of a deal. There was, it was a big deal, but teams are so much better now, I think, depth-wise, and you got to be ready to play each game. It shows when we play midweek games here that anybody can beat you in baseball. It's not like football where you just roll out there and play and you're going to win by 40. So we've got to be ready to play from opening pitch to the end.
You're far from an inexperienced guy, but you kind of feel yourself preparing a little differently, knowing that you're kind of the go-to guy this year, being that Friday, not only just being the Friday starter, but just being without having Goose in front of you.
I've always been pretty simple when it comes to my preparation. I've always kind of kept my head down and did what I need to do on my own because I always knew I had to take care of myself first. But I'll say things to certain guys, like we're during BP, or mention how they threw the week before. What are you going to work on this week? Or just try to get those thoughts in their mind that maybe what I think about improving the next week, and maybe offer suggestions that way. But I try to worry about myself first because it's one thing to say something to somebody, but if you can't back it up yourself, it's hard for them to take it for what it's worth.
So you're just trying to kind of take on that leadership mentality with the pitchers, or
Yeah. I'm really good friends with all our players, with all our position players. But I try to take care of myself first, take care of what I need to take care of first, but then be a leader, during BP or during times where the coaches aren't involved, because coaches are the ones that teach the most.
With the new baseballs, if you had to change anything with the way you pitch, or is it still all about hitting your spots?
I like it better. It doesn't cut up your fingers as much with these old balls, or sometimes you get them, they cut your fingers up. You throw one out because they were kind of spiked, but now they're pretty much all the same, and they don't hurt your fingers at all. I like they move more, and two, they also go further if you hit them square. So it's more of a fair game.
What do you think of the stadium and some of the changes?